song for a movie podcast. Some are pretty good, but we'll just suck ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1. Watch with us, we're Cinema Buns. Let's go!
Hi, welcome to Cinema Buns. I'm Ritter.
I'm Mike.
And today's episode, we sound good.
Yes, you might be able to very clearly tell.
Oh shit, I didn't say my name. Kevin, I don't have a bit right now.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, you might be
enthralled.
you might be able to very clearly tell we have much better audio because hey, I got paid.
So, did someone get a good Christmas gift from Santa Claus?
Oh, how would you know? So yeah, this episode we're talking about probably one of the most hotly anticipated Marvel movies in recent memory.
Oh, that's the one we're doing. Okay, I'm caught up now.
Yeah, surprise, motherfuckers.
I mean,
wasn't
like,
sure.
In celebration of Christmas and in true Christmas fashion, we watched this year's biggest Christmas movie, Spiderman No Way Home.
Yep. And I want to make sure we're doing no spoilers at first.
Okay.
But what'd you guys think?
I liked it a lot. I had a good time watching it. It was a pretty fun ride. I saw it today, for those who don't realize it. And that's my bit.
Yeah,
I assume it's because you had to book yours 7 weeks in advance.
Exactly.
And then on the day of your showing, you had to actually fight through 20 people in line
I did. It was like
just
going
to get to your
Christmas
seat.
shopping. It was
and
wild
like,
out there.
Yeah, literally, Mike, same day as recording. Like, I think it was 2-3 hours before he was supposed to come over. Hey, I didn't get a chance to watch Spider-Man.
Yeah. It was...
And I'm just like, well, that's what we're recording, though.
His exact text was, bruh.
Yes, because, bruh.
Well, yeah. Unless you got in line outside of a theater at 11 p.m., you weren't gonna be able to get a ticket. My prayers out to the California homies and the densely populated New York homies. People who couldn't get a ticket to Spider-Man for 3 weeks. It's its second week right now. It's 2 weeks, even on a weekday, because everyone is still selling out all of those seats.
People are just eager for webbing. But it's a very star-studded cast. Like, they got fucking everyone. And first impressions, let's go off that. I thought the movie was good. It's not the best thing Marvel has ever done, but it's pretty damn close. I think as of right now, it is officially my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Strong.
Yeah, I come in strong.
Michael?
Well, shoot. I would say it's probably my third favorite, I think.
Are you a Sam Raimi boy?
Which one's that one?
Oh my
The
god.
Tobey Maguire.
It's the first
Oh.
3 movies.
Yeah.
If you're a Mark Webb boy, you're the Amazing Spider-Man series. If you're Sony Santa Monica, no, Insomniac.
Santa Monica is a game studio.
Yes, Insomniac, the game studio.
Yes.
Then you're the Spider-Man PS4 boy.
Do you like
Yep.
Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, or Tom Holland?
Or Yuri Lowenthal?
I think it's Tobey
Oh.
Maguire 1 and 3, and then probably this one.
Okay.
This is Tobey Maguire. Oh no, Tobey Maguire. Oh my
What?
god.
What?
You confused me now.
How did I confuse
Fuck.
you?
Wow, so much for no spoilers, I
I
guess.
know.
But no, yeah. So it's like your third.
Yeah, it's my third.
Nice. What about you, Kevin?
So pre-impressions, like before the movie even came out, like I thought this was like the scale looks really grand, like a convergence of all of like these Sony properties, and historically like the only way that they can, because Sony owned all 3 Spider-Man series, like it's only possible like through them. So I thought of it like, other than like not on the scale of Endgame and Infinity War, but this is like the second biggest collaboration. So I had like a certain appreciation of how grand like this undertaking must have been for everyone, like Amy Pascal, Kevin Feige, just to gather all of the old stars to come back to this. And then my actual impression of the movie is like just like that. It's like I really liked it. It felt not as big as like, Endgame or Infinity War, but it's still like just pretty big up there, and it really opens up the scope of where the Marvel franchise can go, because I always appreciate whenever these Marvel movies shake up the status quo, and like by the end of the movie no one is where they are at the beginning of it, and like it kind of gives you the question of like, where do they go from here? This movie,
That's true.
yeah, so it's like this movie isn't a sitcom episode where a bunch of problems show up.
What's gonna happen to Spidey Man?
Yeah. It's not gonna, a bunch of shit's not gonna happen at the first half of the series, and then by the end of the series, everyone is back to square one, the status quo. And like I appreciate like kind of just the balls of doing that. Like, yeah, nothing's ever gonna be the same. It's not this. It's like the same feeling I had as when like Infinity War ended, and everyone's like, oh god, the bad guy won. Half of the universe is gone. Everyone's sad. Where do we go from here?
Yeah, it definitely puts the entire, not just Spider-Man, but like you said, Avengers. It puts it into this weird like perspective of no one knows what's going to happen from here, unless you pay attention to the release schedule. Then you've got a pretty good idea.
I don't, so it's always.
Then that's
enjoy.
even better.
But Kevin over here still didn't answer where he put this on his list of Spider-Man.
That wasn't even the question. The question was like,
okay,
what's
here's the
everyone's first
question:
impression?
where do you put it on your list of Spider-Man movies?
Into the Spider-Verse is still my favorite one. And
Okay.
then-
Oh, you know what? I might have to
I-
change some stuff around now. I completely.
I meant live action Spider-Man movies.
Excuse me.
Because
Excuse me.
Into the Spider-Verse is very much my number
Yeah, I was
one.
say that's gonna change some things.
I'm
around.
a Lord and Miller fanboy, so I'll always enjoy anything they've made. It's a fluke that Lego Movie 2 was as good as it was without them at the helm, but whatever like people that Warner Brothers hired still got it right. I don't even know who directed that movie. Yeah, so if we pretend Spider-Verse doesn't exist, by the way, very hyped for Across the Spider-Verse Part 1.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
absolutely.
I don't know. I don't really have any like nostalgic love or loyalty to the Raimi or the Webb movies. I just thought that they were fun movies. I guess I don't know.
Kevin, you just sound so confident.
I know.
Okay, the top 3 is the Holland movies. Sure.
Which one's
No,
that one?
This
That's
is my favorite
No,
Tom
Kevin,
Holland
don't,
movie.
please
Okay.
don't sound like you have a gun to your head
I know.
going,
I
say Tom Holland's your favorite.
don't
The
know.
Disney sniper is loaded.
Okay. Fuck. I don't know. Amazing Spider-Man 1 is going to be my 3.
I swear I thought for a minute he was going to say Amazing Spider-Man 2. I love it when Jamie Foxx was blue.
I don't know. Homecoming number 2, and then No Way Home 3. Far From Home
That's
was
solid.
okay.
Yeah, I never had a, like, I feel nostalgic about the Raimi movies, but they're not like the end-all be-all, this is what I have as my level of Spider-Man, like some people
Right.
are. Because, especially after the announcement of the movie, all of a sudden everyone was like, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies are some of the greatest things that's happened to cinema. And it was really weird, because it's gonna happen because it started happening with the Star Wars prequels. When
Everyone's looking at them with rose-tinted glasses.
like, oh, these movies were great and stuff. Even,
well, it's because like the sequel trilogy happened.
yeah, But that's
everyone
the thing.
got the appreciation for the prequels.
As soon as a new trilogy movie,
I think it's at the release of Last Jedi or probably Rogue One, because I think Force Awakens, everyone still had positive.
It was
reviews of it.
Rogue. It was Rogue One that I noticed that a lot of people were all of a sudden like the prequels. They were so great, underrated. When it was
These
like
new movies suck.
I liked the prequels when they were coming out, and I did get a lot of trash for that. I liked Clone Wars, and people give me that's like my favorite one.
Clone Wars or Attack of the Clones?
Clone
Clone Wars is the Tartakovsky
Attack
series.
of the Clones. My bad. Yeah.
Yeah, everyone liked Clone Wars.
Yeah,
And I think even
Yeah. My bad. Attack of the Clones. I like that one. And I
You
got so
monster.
Much. I know, right?
But I don't know. My whole thing was that I feel like as soon as something new's coming, people get worried and excited. So they're like, "Oh man, that stuff was so good back in the day," and that little nostalgia trigger in your brain just starts ticking, and you're just like, you remember? Do you remember Sam Raimi?
The member berries, man.
Yeah, the member berries. I did objectively. The Raimi movies are super corny, but that was early 2000s. That's how it worked.
Yeah.
But I did like Spider-Man 2. Out of the original Raimi ones, Spider-Man 2 was my favorite.
Oh, wow.
So seeing Doc Ock in like the original trailer, I was like, for this one, I was pretty hyped. I was like, okay. I had cautious optimism for this, and
oh shoot, you're right. Doc Ock was Spider-Man 2. Hold on, I'm all messed up.
Yeah.
Oh, are you re-ranking yours?
I need to re-rank everything in my brain now.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man 1 was Green Goblin.
Right.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2 was Doc Ock. Sam Raimi Spider-Man 3 was Venom and Sandman. And Hobgoblin, which
Goblin
was
Jr.
Yeah, Goblin Jr.
Shoot, my brain's all messed up. Okay, I need to rearrange some things, but I'll just figure that out later.
Yeah, the movie was like 6 hours long and it had like 17 villains.
It had the same issue that Amazing Spider-Man 2 had. They were trying to do way too much bullshit.
Yeah. Okay, I might need to do some rearranging, but anyways.
Yeah. But this movie, I think I'm trying to think of the best way to approach this. Music was good because they pulled. The score was good. It's a Marvel movie. It's kind of hard to say like, oh, this score was amazing, because most of the Marvel scores are fairly like on the same level of competence where, yeah, it's good. It's not something I'm gonna rave about, but it's there.
The thing about Marvel soundtracks go is that there are it has like a really like polished orchestration, and everything is just really high quality. It's just that because they're all of the same level, there's difficulty in trying to pierce together like which one is your favorite track or anything that's memorable, because they're all equally like good and professional.
Yeah. By the way, I'm gonna be unprofessional. I've got the Sahara Desert in my mouth. I'm gonna go get water. You two talk.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
But the thing about the Spider-Man like theme, like specifically Tom Holland's theme, it's memorable because it has like this kind of melodic motif to it.
Okay.
And it has a lot of just like musical notes, also like themes of the previous like Spider-Man movies. Like they try to put in like a bunch of like Spider-Man references even in the music, other than just like the characters.
Did notice a little bit of that. They had like little themes. But I'm gonna be honest and be like, the music for me was like, I wasn't paying too hard attention to. It was all just Marvel music to me. I was like, all hero music. It's all like, to me, sounds all the same, with like little notes of like, oh, that kind of sounds similar to something I remember. But like overall, like if you were to ask me, like, if you were to play some music and then just say where in the movie happened, I would be like, I don't know, it could have happened anywhere.
But that's the thing with Marvel. If there's something they don't have to take a risk on, why would they take a risk on that?
Right.
When half the time it's the story they're trying to take a risk on.
Right.
So they're like, score, why fuck with it? We already know what to do. Don't mess with it.
The thing is, though, they do have like very great people writing the music for it.
Yeah.
And there are actually like specific tracks that I think if you actually like listen to it, like the one of the more memorable ones is Black Widow killing herself. Like there that track that plays is actually like just tied to that scene, and it's like one of the more memorable Marvel tracks. The other ones
Right.
are like the Avengers theme, mostly to do with like the Avengers, but like I can't really think of the other Marvel superheroes as having their own theme other than Spider-Man. Because like Iron Man jumps from like different rock songs.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's just Metallica, Black
Zeppelin.
Sabbath, and shit.
AC/DC. As far as like the other superheroes in their own solo movies, other than Black Panther, because that's Ludwig Göransson.
Yeah.
He always does good shit. They all, I don't feel like they all have like their own musical identity, but Spider-Man
Right.
does,
Yeah.
which is the point I was trying to get across. And other than like Tom Holland's musical, like Spider-Man's musical identity, there was also just musical snippets, as I was saying before, from as reference to the other like Spider-Man franchises inserted into it. There could have been like some motifs that are referencing and quoting like Spider-Verse maybe, but I didn't catch any of that in the movie. But like, you know,
I mean, I feel like there is one part where Shocker, Jamie Foxx's character, was talking to Spider-Man and was like, I figured you were from Queens.
Yeah.
And you were from Queens and you helped, underprivileged people. I just figured you were black. And
and then
Spider-Man's like, I'm sorry. I did, and he's like, nah, it's not your problem.
I'm sure
Don't worry about
there's-
it.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure there
I-
is.
Yeah, I'm sure
Yeah.
there is somewhere.
I'm sure there's someone doing that. So I feel like that was the nod to Miles Morales.
I think it was.
But so yeah, the score, I mean, I agree. Spider-Man does have his own audio like signature, but the thing is that it's one that it's hard to
You guys can't like.
expand on, I think, because I think it got hit really well in like Sam Raimi. I don't know. I don't want to go back and say Sam Raimi was the best series the whole time, but I really liked the sound because Spider-Man's very acrobatic. He's very free, very lofty, and that's what you have to go with the music most of the time. And like, it's hard to make variations on that sound distinct from each other.
It's very hard to
in a
pinpoint.
meaning way. So
Or like kind of just make a soundtrack that that you can easily connect to the movie, like just kind of a unique soundtrack that
Right.
isn't made by Ludwig Göransson.
yeah. But and then I think visually it's well done.
Yes.
There are they don't stick to a single color palette the whole time. It's very pretty. It's a Marvel movie, so the special effects are on point. And however, I do like what they did with the villains. They, for some of them, they gave them a much needed updated.
Yeah,
like-
they definitely needed
And
some.
as far as I can tell, they didn't down age anyone.
No,
Other than like probably just do some extra makeup, because I like the way Alfred Molina looks in this movie more than he did in Spider-Man 2.
Well,
and
what's
Yeah.
funny is you can tell he's lost weight since Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, a little
he's-
bit.
He's skinnier in
and
this
his
one.
voice is deeper and he sounds more menacing, and I think his acting has gotten better.
Yeah.
Willem Dafoe acting has definitely gotten better, and
Oh, of
he's
course.
like become
but
more
that's
prestigious.
but I mean, his acting getting better isn't much because he was already a good actor.
Yeah, no. The acting. I just want to say, like, also the performances in this movie is like fantastic. from
Yeah, I do have to
all
say
around everyone.
it was really the actors did a great job. They
This
knew what they had their roles and they knew what to do with them.
this movie is a prime example of actors can act well when they have a good script to act from.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like. I'm pretty sure Jamie Foxx was given like better direction, and like better notes in this movie than he did in like Spider-Man 2.
I
Amazing
think I
Spider-Man 2.
remember somewhere
Yeah.
though he specifically said like, "Do not make me blue."
Yeah.
Like when he accepted this, he's like, "I don't want to be blue. Don't make me blue." And I do like there's one scene where his electricity kind of goes off and it gives him the outline
Yeah!
of Shocker's original costume.
Yeah, I
You
was
guys keep
like,
saying Shocker. He's Electro. Shocker
he
was
is
in
Electro.
Oh,
was in
that's right.
Homecoming.
Yeah,
Shocker would just had like a glove,
yeah, he just had gloves.
and he like
Electro.
worked with
I can't-
Vulture.
God damn it.
But yeah,
My bad.
Electro.
Fucking
he- I-
weirdo
I-
Spider-Man villains. Two of them having the same power.
Hey, they
Well,
work a
fucking
little
that's the
differently.
same as Green Goblin and Hobgoblin.
Well, they're from the same.
yeah, but
they're
there's
generational.
Like, yeah, they're generational
Yeah,
though.
that's what I
it's
just-
different.
Yeah, but it's not like Shocker and Electro are both related in some way.
That's
Yeah.
true.
There's no like nothing to connect them, so it's weird.
Yeah. But and I mean there were some very pretty shots and everything seemed framed well too. Cuz there's a tendency to with Marvel movies especially to kind of just do single shot. That just a single like stationary shot of something happening but this one they definitely worked with camera angles a lot to give you a better sense of movement. And
I think that's actually that's what they try to work on for just Spider-Man movies in general, because he like swings so much that the camera has to be dynamic and virtual most of the time.
now, I will give them a lot of credit. The fact that for 95% of the film, I could actually keep track of exactly what was happening in a fight scene
Yeah,
was
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
It's with so many people in a single fight, and it's Spider-Man who's swinging around everywhere and doing fucking jackknifes and shit.
yeah.
It is very easy to lose track and confuse the audience.
Yeah, especially if there's a bunch of particles and shit covering the screen.
Yeah, there was only one or two times where I was like, how the fuck did he get there? Where the fuck did he come from? But that was more during one of the larger fights where there
Mhm.
were a lot of elements in it.
Right.
But overall, they kept the audience well informed on action to where you never really got confused on why something was happening.
Mm-hmm. And also, like, similar to that, like the pacing of the movie was like really good. You never I always like kind of just dread whenever a superhero movie is like made, and 75% of it is the superhero not doing superhero shit. It's just them hanging out as like people,
Yeah.
which is like one thing. It could like that like
that was
uh,
the point of the movie.
that was
that's fine.
that was like the Tobey Maguire movies. Generally, he didn't do a lot of like superhero stuff
Yeah.
until like during the climax or whatever. In this movie, it's kind of like the pace, even though it's like it's under 2.5 hours. There was still always something going on, and like Tom Holland had his suit on the entirety of the movie because like shit was going down.
Yeah.
and he was like he was
I can't rest.
It was one,
Yeah, I know,
one
his-
thing after another.
yeah, I know.
rough.
It was he had a lot of shit to do in the next couple of days.
Yeah. And now I do have my gripe with some of the writing though and some of the pacing. Shit. I'm gonna have to save that for spoiler talk.
Yeah, you're gonna have to probably anything that has to do with writing. You'll probably have to say. Yeah.
I'll save that for spoiler talk, but there are a couple points in the movie that I felt like were not developed organically, and they kind of put stuff in just to meet a certain criteria
Yeah, I
that
think. Mhm.
didn't fit well. And I think some of the characters, like, I think there's one or two villains they completely forgot they had for certain parts and just didn't know what to do with them.
Oh yeah, well.
Yeah, there was a big cast though, so I don't really necessarily blame them.
Yeah.
Well,
I do have like one of my own, like I guess, small gripes, but again, I'll wait for spoilers for that.
I
But-
think one thing we can also talk about is just kind of the entire inciting incident is Peter gets his identity revealed at the end of Far From Home.
Mhm.
Right.
And then he gets labeled as like a murderer. Suddenly he's like
And
getting
it's like
labeled as a
split
vigilante.
50-50 down the road. Half of everyone thinks he's murderer.
The rest of the Avengers already have their identity revealed. Why is he so different?
Also, where
Why
are
is
the
he
rest
is
of the
the problem?
Avengers not saying jack about this?
They're
like-
busy.
Yeah,
They're-
but
they're-
you know what? They all
No,
are
shh,
busy
shh,
all the
shh,
time.
shh. They're busy.
Yeah, because
That's how every Marvel
like
movie
fucking,
works.
I
fucking
know.
the end of Iron Man 1 when Tony Stark says that he's Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like I thought that this trope, this like kind of problem would cease to exist in this universe, and it did until this movie.
So the reason for that is, comic-wise, Spider-Man has always been very specific about not revealing his identity to as many people as he possibly can. And that's been present in almost every version of the Spider-Man comics.
Right.
In regards to this, the argument can be made, he's a fucking kid.
Okay.
He doesn't want to expose his friends and family to all the shit that can come from that. And, I mean, he doesn't have the means, or you can make the argument, he doesn't really have the maturity to deal with it yet.
Well,
So, I feel like his identity being revealed while he's in high school and stuff like that is showing him, like, dealing with it, and he doesn't deal with it
Well,
like a well-adjusted mature adult might deal with it.
Yeah.
Because Tony Stark, yeah, he reveals to the world he's Iron Man,
but he's also hella rich.
yeah, he's the richest person on the planet, and that's going to affect him if for those I can't see, which is all of you, my fingers are very close together.
well, I mean, those were the plots of like Iron Man 2 and 3, like Gwyneth Paltrow basically getting kidnapped and getting her shit pushed in, just because Tony Stark revealed that he was.
But he has
Iron
the
Man.
funds to deal with it.
Yeah, he has the funds and the means to deal with it. Peter Parker does not. It's not like he can afford a PR team to start spinning shit.
Well,
Yeah.
And he needed
Barely affords the lawyer.
a very specific lawyer
Yeah.
who.
That's why I was like, just lawyer.
But it's just I feel like it's more showing a character's maturity as opposed to getting rid of the trope.
Yeah, but still, he's still being arrested by the government. And him being accused of murder of Mysterio, which the public has known, I can't remember what the length of time for Far From Home is. I think it's like the span of like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, they've known about Mysterio for like
a
month and a half.
Mysterio, no, but like how long was Mysterio a superhero in the public eye?
Like about a month and a half.
I don't think it was about a month and a half. I think it was like a week.
No, because
must have been about a week.
Because like the elementals were like ravaging the planet, I think.
That's
for a while, maybe, and then Mysterio was just showing up all over the world.
Because remember, the whole thing took place during their Europe trip.
Yeah, but their Europe trip was only like, was it a month? I thought it was like 2 weeks. I thought it was over the course of 2 weeks.
Doesn't matter.
Anyways, but yeah, everyone fell in love with Mysterio, which is fine.
Yeah.
But Spider-Man has been big in New York, and then eventually saving the galaxy when he stopped Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, this superhero that gets murdered and is now like accusing Spider-Man of like killing him, turns the public like for some reason against Spider-Man, and just like on a dime, on a whim.
Almost as if Photoshop and video editing doesn't exist.
Well, also as if like this is very much as if like the writers wrote this problem into it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, it can on a different universe, but just not this. Spider-Man has done too much already for the world that the entire planet, or at least just like 50% of the planet, like, is against him and turns him out into a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Like, why is the Department of Damage Control, like, after Mysterio, after Spider-Man, when he's been accused of murder, and not giving him the benefit of the doubt, and like, you know, investigating more of the Stark technology there,
and not even giving him a true chance to give his side of the story either.
I mean, like, it could be assumed that they did, because this problem goes away actually in the beginning part of the movie, and then a new problem arises.
Right.
But I don't know. That was just like kind of my big problem, and I get it. It's the inciting incident of the entire movie.
Yeah.
There's some things I want to say about it, but I spoilers. So
I think we're about halfway through. We've kept everyone on their toes long enough.
Now let's get those mouths ready for those toes.
We're
Oh my God.
Everyone, we are going to talk spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. You have about 5 seconds before we talk about spoilers. 3.
This movie's good.
2.
Watch it.
Yeah,
Yes.
go watch it.
Spoilers. Okay.
So for my thing, the way I understood it is, he was accused of all these things, and then Damage Control was like picking up all the pieces really quick, and then they started to go through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they needed someone to blame.
Exactly.
They didn't need anyone to blame. Why?
Because Mysterio died.
Yeah.
And he put out that video.
Yeah.
And it's impossible to edit things.
At that point, it's all about swaying the public eye for not like too much outcry.
Yes,
Okay,
but here's the thing. Like, I keep making this point because it's fucking stupid I have to make this point. People know video editing exists, and like there are people, like, not even like professional people, because I've watched YouTube videos of fucking hobbyists be able to point shit out like this.
Yeah.
Where you can hear the edits in the audio, and you can, and like, I'm assuming the video is very obviously edited. So it's like,
does anyone remember what happened at the end of Far From Home? Like, what happened to the crew that Mysterio was working with? All those ex-Stark employees.
The way I see it is...
Kill them? Did he?
Not... The way I see it is, like, not everyone... Like, a lot of it can end up just being hearsay at that point, and then things just kind of go out of control. Like, that happens in real life, where, like, people will do, like, edited things, but, like, the damage has already been done, even though it's been proven that the video is not real. You know what I'm saying?
You can just watch any political ad.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. That's why, like, I could believe it. I could believe that happening and people being jaded about, you know, because it's happened in real life, and I'm like, okay, I'll let it go. Maybe not 50%, but, like, I can still, like, believe that's something people would end up like actually thinking is true.
So Quentin Beck, I don't remember if he had like if Quentin Beck is an alias he made up for Mysterio. But like so like they can like autopsies, fucking investigators and detectives can find out that Quentin Beck is actually an ex Tony Stark employee.
Yeah, but that's what that's what I'm saying.
Like upon further investigation, like and probably like connecting those drones that were used to murder himself, can possibly point to the other scientists that were used to make them, and then make some arrest, and then someone can piece together these are a bunch of angry ex-Stark employees that tried to frame Spider-Man for whatever reason.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. Like, but then at that point, that's just conspiracy. They're just covering it up. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say is like. Like the damage has already been done. They're just doing
stupid.
But it's stupid, and like, but it's there was another thing I was gonna say. Like the reason why it was cleaned up so fast, so also like why like the charges were kind of dropped because they investigated like okay he actually didn't do it. We're gonna just drop the charges. Yeah, even the lawyer was like they got nothing on you, kid.
Yeah. So Matt Murdock is the lawyer.
Yeah. By the way.
So I think the rest
big pop from the audience whenever I see it.
Yeah. Right. I was like, oh, shoot, okay.
Fucking big pop from me.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they panned over, and I saw... The first thing I noticed were the red glasses.
Right? That's what I was like, and what?
And I was like, what? My wife was next to me, and I was like, oh! What the fuck? What the fuck? And it's
for those who don't realize, it's a Daredevil.
That's because the
it's
Netflix
Daredevil,
Marvel
guys.
series
is canon.
Is part of the Marvel.
Right.
But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., etc.
But it's... great. And then when the fucking brick comes through and he just catches it, I was just like, fuck.
I think my favorite part
my pants are tight. I'm gonna come.
My favorite part was like, yeah, that'd be the lawyer that Peter Parker can afford.
Yeah. No, and I love when they're like, how'd you catch that? And he's like, I'm a good lawyer.
Yeah. I was like, he is a good lawyer, yes.
Why do you think I'm a defense attorney?
Right.
Whatever. I guess you can just chalk it up to fucking Matt Murdock cleaning up the entire mess.
Yeah.
But
and that's what I accepted it as. Because...
I can't live in a world where Hannibal Buress thinks I'm a murderer. Okay.
I loved his part where he's like,
"No, I
know what you did.
Murder.
Mysterio was right. Dude, shut up. No one cared, but he was right."
What are you talking about? You built all this. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so some of the gripes I had. One, Jamie Foxx's character never knew Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
Yes.
So why was he brought in?
Well, he's possibly a different universe where he did.
No, because he's from the Amazing Spider-Man one.
He's a
there's infinite universes
from a version of Amazing Spider-Man that exists.
But So
that's how I've been accepting that.
That was one I noted like early. It was like that shouldn't be there. So another issue I had, I was really excited when Sandman was helping Tom Holland
right
during the fight, because I'm like, oh my god, that's
his character.
accurate.
Yeah.
Because Spider-Man actually helped him, and Sandman was like, okay, you're a good person.
Yeah.
But then, like,
He turns into a bad guy.
Yeah,
for
he
no
just-
reason.
yeah.
No, but you don't understand. This version of Jamie Foxx, who used to be like a shy nerd,
Is now
Is
a
now
a
charismatic-
Chad.
Is
now
just
he's
now
got,
a
he got a
charismatic Chad.
literal glow up
Yeah.
and a charismatic supervillain that he's like, hey, Sandman, let's fuck up this apartment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it just never made, because, like, Sandman was like, I just want to go home to see my daughter. Or I just want to go home. And then he's like, I want to see my daughter, but I just want to go home.
Right.
Which do you want to do? Because they literally, if you just did nothing
Yeah,
and let him do his work,
I think that's
you all would have gone
There's
home.
a line where he's like, he doesn't trust anybody anyways.
yeah.
So
But he
like,
saw Otto got like
Fixed.
fixed and return his life back.
just because you do good doesn't mean you will always do good.
Okay, but
And like the room trusted him, and it wasn't until like
it
like
was,
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe rolled a 20 on his persuasion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
big time.
for sure, like I'm fine with him convincing Jamie
Jamie
Foxx because he found all of this arc energy, arc reactor energy,
and
like
it's
this
only because of his powers that he's
he's
Yeah.
like
Chad
fuck
now.
this planet rules. The
Yeah.
energy here rules. The technology is so advanced. I'm gonna fucking turn myself into pure plasma.
Yeah.
I'm fine with him convincing him to take off like the restraints on himself. Sandman,
Liz-
I don't understand.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that made no
Sa-
sense.
like I said,
and
Sandman's
Lizard,
the rough
he didn't
one.
give a shit to begin with.
He was outside of the apartment.
Okay,
Yeah.
to be fair,
He-
everyone, I kind of knew that Lizard Man was going to turn.
Okay,
He didn't give
but
a
Lizard was a
crap.
guy I was saying that, like, they either didn't know what to do with him,
Yeah,
or they thought they had
You are
him,
absolutely right.
because, like,
He was just in a truck.
he's either in a cell actively talking,
Mhm.
in a truck, or he's fighting. That's
Yeah.
all he does.
I didn't do any research. I don't know if the actual actor for
It is. It is the original actor.
okay.
So,
Because I like you could have just gotten a sound alike, and him turning back into Dr. Connors could have just been a CGI man.
yeah. But,
But if they went the extra mile and actually got him to reprise his role, then good on them.
no.
They did not utilize him.
No, they
But
did not.
I liked the scene. It was very corny, and it was very, like, we're going to play your heartstrings, but I did like the scene where Doc Ock kind of regained his
Right, I did like that.
composure.
Yeah, no, it
I
was
was
beautiful.
like,
I was all
"That's-
about that.
That's nice. He deserves that.
Yeah, he needs that.
And the another part I kind of had an issue with was the Aunt May death scene, where she just has to say, with great power comes great responsibility.
Well,
My whole thing was
There
just
is a
like,
contractual obligation in a Spider-Man movie to say that at least once.
Well,
Yeah.
it was for the purpose of connecting with the other Spider-Man.
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
like there were moments in I believe Homecoming like swerved out of that. Like a scene was
Yeah.
like they
They
were
were
about
almost
to
the
say the
same.
line and then just like bloop.
yeah.
I don't know. I
They
felt,
were
they were
saving
saving
it.
it.
They were
They were
saving
saving
it.
it.
Yeah,
for some reason I felt her death scene was, how should I say, it didn't roll naturally.
It
But
was kind of sudden.
it was
Yeah, it
sudden,
was really
but
sudden.
it was. I felt like her dying in that situation made sense, but I don't think the way it played out felt right.
yeah. I don't know, because
It didn't feel well written.
like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, I was not a fan of Aunt May.
Oh my
She was
god.
a little way too.
You
she
are
was,
in the minority.
fucking get out of this
I don't know.
room.
She was
Too hot.
no. She was like the worst way optimistic, I guess.
Okay, hold on. I see where you're coming
Yeah.
from,
She
and I
works
kind
at a
of agree.
homeless
Okay,
shelter.
thank you.
No, no,
okay,
no.
I thought I was gonna be the
So,
minority in that.
It
I was like,
makes it makes like you said, Kevin. It makes sense why she's like that, because she
Yeah.
works at a homeless
yeah,
center, and like, listen, if you work in those facilities, you either become super fucking jaded
yeah,
and lose your humanity, or you become the most optimistic optimist that's ever optimist.
Well, also because like there has to be like some form of like that part has to be part of her character in order to want to be like in that job in the first place.
Right.
I'm assuming that's what motivated her into like working at that nonprofit. It was just that her overall altruism to helping rehabilitate and like shelter people.
And although her opening argument as to why
her arguments were not good.
Now hold on, her opening
not-
arguments as to why he should help them were weak.
Yeah.
I do like that she was there to be like, listen, just because it's not technically your problem doesn't mean you shouldn't help.
Right. I had
Yeah.
no problem with that. My problem was just the arguments were not good.
I think that would have been better suited in a slightly different situation where that
Yeah.
argument comes up. And then it's because of that argument he's inspired to help them.
Right.
Not her directly arguing, you should help the strange homeless green man.
Right. Yeah, that was like...
Well, I can understand that she would want to help him also because like she doesn't know him.
Yeah,
Right.
and also...
So there's literally no as she knows him as much as the next homeless person that comes into the shelter,
Right.
which means that she will like shower them with like care and love and want to help them in any way.
And also Norman Osborn is by default a sympathetic character.
Yeah.
Because, like, he actually himself isn't it really evil? It's
Yeah.
just his personality that's evil.
Right.
And it's not like he has full control all the time. So when he's in his normal state,
Mhm.
yeah, he's sympathetic because he doesn't want to do this shit. He
No, he
just
doesn't.
does because he can't control himself.
Mhm.
So
Now,
But-
I did like that about the Green Goblin, though. Like
felt-
his role
I
was
felt
done
like they
really well.
I feel like they humanized him a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
And they did that. I think they did that with all the villains.
Yeah.
They made them more human. Granted, Doc
I don't-
Ock, he was already.
Yeah, he was
Uh,
already...
except for
well.
Dr. Connors, like
Yeah,
fucking
Dr.
just
yeah.
No,
he didn't say
They
any-
literally humanized him.
Yeah.
They did that at the end of the first movie.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, Andrew Garfield cured him.
No, he
Yeah.
didn't.
Yeah, he did.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
No.
He even there's even a line
You
where he
say-
says like he cured him already.
Yeah, I did it once and I'll do it
that's
again.
Yeah.
right. Oh, fuck. I forgot about that.
I get it. It's not
Shit.
your favorite movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
no. You're right.
But I've played I played the Xbox 360 games, so
Oh.
I'm well versed
He
in
knows what
that
goes on.
Resident
universe.
expert.
Yeah.
But,
I've collected all 270 comic pages.
oh, Jesus.
He's platinum the game.
I actually have. I mean,
He says
I've gotten all the
disappointingly.
I got all the achievements for Amazing Spider-Man 1. So
Yeah.
He's,
But,
he's just
it's a
showing
fun
his power right now.
he's showing off.
I
his
mean, it
power
was.
level
I
a
mean,
little
like
bit.
it's like trying to find Riddler trophies in Batman, except 50 times harder because they're flying through the air
Yeah.
and also hidden inside certain levels.
It's annoying.
It's also
I-
a tiny page
I
that's
was-
like really hard to locate.
I'm just gonna get. Can we get into the main thing?
no.
What's the main thing?
Can I say I was kind of happily surprised that the amount of screen time the other two Spider-Mans got. I thought they were gonna have a much smaller role.
I'm glad. No, they gave them all room to breathe.
Yeah, that's what
And
I
they
was.
all gave them like a small arc to go through.
Yeah, I
Except for
was-
Toby, I don't think he went through that much.
Well, he's already. I like to think of it
He's
like
the most mature.
he's the OG
and
Spider-Man.
he's
like,
gone through everything already.
yeah, he's gone through it all already.
I think his arc is working as the person to inspire
As the
Right,
mentor.
yeah.
Yeah. And Andrew Garfield,
Is still reeling and trying to get past his demons, which he
It's
finally
like the
does.
different like levels of what
That-
Spider-Man went through.
so I never cried. I never really teared up. But the scene that got me close was when he saved MJ.
Oh yeah,
And he's holding her and he's just like, and she's like, you okay? And he's like, yeah, I'm good. And
Are
it's
you
just
okay?
like, oh,
Oh,
fuck.
yeah.
Oh, shit. That hits so hard.
yeah,
Yeah, I
And
know.
and I like they don't bust that nut super early either.
Right.
They only bring him in like near the last quarter of the movie.
yeah. It's about the last quarter that you get to see everybody.
And
By the way, huge pops whenever they show up.
Yeah,
So
very much.
It's pretty great.
And I like it though because they use kind of the ambiguity to bring him in, like hit Ned. It's just like I wish Peter was here.
Yeah.
Find
And
Peter
it's just,
Parker.
first Peter and then Peter and then the next Peter. It's like, okay.
Oh,
that's-
it's just some guy.
Yeah.
Can I talk about my favorite scene of the entire movie? It's like my favorite scene, but
Ned's
it's
grandma.
no the Tobey Maguire being able to shoot web. And then they're
yeah.
all commenting on it.
Like,
that was
what
my
the-
favorite
what?
scene.
How do you do that? It's like, what's a web shooter? Yeah, that's how we shoot web. How do you shoot web? Psh, what the fuck?
That comes out of your wrists? How does that work?
What the? He's like, I don't know. I don't
don't really want to talk about it.
I haven't like dissected myself to find. They're like, yeah, but like, how?
I don't know. It's like, how do you
No,
breathe?
this is like a Spider-Man fanboy's wet dream.
Yeah.
And also a much needed like kind of just positive affirmation for all of these like unfortunate characters, that they find someone that's gone through the same situation as them as like
Right.
a comfort. Like these three people needed meeting
Yeah,
these
they-
three neat people.
Yeah.
Because they were all complimenting each other, saying they're all cool, and like every time they're like, "Hey, no, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Shut up."
I love that scene where Andrew Garfield's
you're
like, "Oh, I'm
remember,
stupid." No,
you're amazing. Yeah, I was
Say
like,
it.
oh,
Just
they
say it
did
for
it.
yourself. Say you're amazing.
And
I
Andrew
needed
Garfield
that.
fixed Tobey Maguire's back.
Yeah.
It only took him 10 years, 20
Yeah.
years.
My
back.
I
My
like I
back!
said, like this movie needed like a bingo card for all like the one-liners and like little tidbits.
of a scientist myself.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god.
No one laughed except for me, but MJ saying they're on the phone call and they're talking about Peter's talking about what he likes about MJ, and he's like, I think you're a people person, and she's like, oh yeah, I love people. I think you like sports, and it's like, yeah, I think the Mets are gonna take it.
Yeah.
to the
It's the Mets, baby. The
Yeah,
Mets.
it's like
It's all about
I'm like,
the
I'm
Mets.
the only one like laughing and
Yeah.
guffawing, and no one else is like, everyone else does not like get the joke.
It's not about the money, Spider-Man.
It's about the Mets,
baby. The Mets. Let's
That's
go.
that's such a recent joke that is either just because it's the New York Mets, or it's because someone
The writers are fucking dweebs.
or, but they're like also fast enough to put that line in.
Right.
Because that is like pretty recent of a joke.
Yeah.
Even though Into the Spider-Verse is like what is it, like 2 years old now.
Yeah.
I guess.
Can we agree that this whole movie is Doctor Strange's fault?
Yes. Well, no, it's both. It's both him
No,
and.
no. I'm gonna argue this
Okay.
because I 100% believe this. Doctor Strange did not take any time to actually explain what the spell was gonna do and how it worked. If he just told Peter, "Hey, when I start this, I need you to say exactly what you want, and then I'll cast the spell. Because if you try to change it mid-spell, it's going to cause issues." Instead, he's just already casting it, and Peter still has questions about it, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Shut the fuck up, I'm already in it."
Yeah, because he can't stop.
Yeah.
But he could have waited to start until Peter fully understood what was going on.
Well,
But-
I think.
But Doctor Strange
fair-
was just like, "I got a hard on to
be
cast
fair,
magic."
Okay, I'll give this to Doctor Strange. To be fair, they've used this spell before, and they make it seem like it's such a like
Just a throwaway
just
spell.
a throwaway spell.
Yeah.
Like even like the other guy was like,
Yeah, Wong was
he's
like,
just like, I just want no part of it, but do you? Because like it's just,
he's
it's
like, I don't know
such
when
a
you've ever
monotonous
used
like
this spell
thing
before.
where it's like if you don't, you're like if you use it or it's just like such a throwaway thing, you don't think about all the nitty-gritty details of how dangerous a spell is because you just either use it so often or you just kind of like, it's not that big of a deal. I got this because I've done it many times before.
Yeah.
And he just didn't account because he even says a line like he forgets like how young Peter is and
Yeah.
he's not mature enough to really just, he just
Deal.
assumes that he's gonna listen and like let him do his thing and then go on with his day. And then and he even like tells Peter like stop telling me people that need to remember because this spell's gonna mess up soon. And Peter keeps going. He just keeps on reeling like with things. And
Yeah,
that
because he's a
messes up.
nervous kid in
Exactly, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
He didn't account for that.
But I mean, I feel like
Well, as an experienced adult and as an adult that has no experience raising kids,
Yeah,
I feel the same way.
exactly. That's why I'm like, I'll give it to Doctor Strange. Like, but also to be fair, like,
He's like, this kid needs to shut up.
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, to be fair, like, it's still like
Yeah,
for
it's a little
Doctor
bit-
Strange to kind of not like,
Not say that like, oh, everyone in the world that knows you is
Yeah.
gonna forget.
Yeah, and I mean, like, kids are immature, but they're not stupid.
Right.
If you talk to them like a person, they will usually understand what you're trying to say.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what he probably assumed as soon as he told Peter, like, yeah, everyone who knew you were Peter Parker will forget. And he he treated him like an adult, being like, that's what we're getting here. And then Peter just started going off.
Yeah.
The monkey paw wish.
So, yeah, it is the monkey paw wish.
But yeah, that ending is depressing, though.
It is
Just
very depressing.
Nope, now no one remembers Peter Parker. You're just a nobody.
I think
I didn't. That was my gripe. Is like I didn't truly understand the gravity of like. Couldn't he still just continue the spell he was doing?
No, because the problem is that as the spell,
fabric of the universe was breaking,
and everyone who knew Spider-Man was Peter Parker ever was coming in. Now,
why? Because that's what I'm saying. Couldn't he just do another wipe of just making everyone who knew he was Spider-Man forget? That's the part I was confused.
That's the same spell though, and I feel
but like it's just doing a spell over a spell at that point to cancel out, and then or just kind of replaces it, and then like everyone just forgot Spider-Man was Peter Parker. That's how I understood it because it wasn't really explained very well, at least to me. So I was like, couldn't he just do that? Or now because of the situation was so dire and there was like,
I saw it.
They needed like another level above that now to fix the problem underneath.
Okay, let's explain the stack. So you played a creature, and
exactly
and that creature is called Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and it's an enchantment on Peter Parker. So, you played Destroy Target Enchantment.
except it's on a stack.
Yeah, so hold on. So
Wait,
that was
what?
Destroy Target Enchantment on Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Now, you don't have any like counter target spell, but you do have a Destroy Target creature, which can get rid of the negative effects of the other thing. So you're like,
Mechanically
fuck.
speaking, this doesn't work
No,
anymore.
mechanically, but your only option is fuck. If I nuke that creature, then it prevents all this other shit from happening. So that's gonna be what I have to do. Mechanically for Magic, it makes no sense. Just understand
even
that
like
it's
now, that still doesn't make any
maybe
sense.
it's just tiers. Like Spider-Man.
That's what I'm saying.
Peter
Is
Parker
it like a
up
tier
here.
situation?
So they're already like up here, and the only way to negate that is to go a tier lower. And a
Right.
tier lower is make sure people forget about Peter Parker.
Right, and that's what I was trying to figure out. It's like it wasn't really explained very well. Like, did the spell just need to be...
I think that actually was the spell that was necessary in order to fix the fabric.
Yeah. So
Yeah, because like I said, it was maybe I just didn't catch it or something like that, but I still felt like it wasn't explained very well.
But the thing I immediately started thinking of once it went off and he was like getting his apartment and stuff, I'm like, oh fuck, does he technically still have a social security number? Does he does all that technically still exist?
Because also that was funny because he had the GED thing.
Yeah, so he had to
like,
take high school again.
Yeah, or no, he didn't have. He has to just get his GED at this point.
Yeah.
And then like I was like, oh shoot, he has to get a job, man.
Yeah, I know, and it's
he's about to. Or are we about to play the pizza delivery game again in Spider-Man 2?
But then, yeah, and that's why I was
he
like,
becomes a he's depressed Peter B. Parker from Into the Spider-Verse.
yes,
Yeah.
No,
But yeah, heartbreaking that he sees Ned and MJ happy, and he's like,
and then
me plugging myself back into them is gonna ruin their lives. I
Yeah.
shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
and
Even though I literally just promised them.
and here's another question. Just because they forget about Peter Parker, do the Avengers still remember Spider-Man?
I think
No, everyone still knows Spider-Man. They just don't know Peter Parker.
So, if you went up to Doctor Strange and said, "Ayo, boy, I'm Spider-Man," would he just
He would
go from there?
I think he would remember that he was with Spider-Man and Star-Lord fighting Thanos on Titan.
Yeah.
But
So-
he doesn't remember who he does. I think there's a version to Doctor Strange where he never removed his mask
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he was just Spider-Man the entire time.
So
I think there's a version of the Endgame fight where Spider-Man has the robot gauntlet and Brie Larson is like
well, hey there, Peter Parker.
no, she doesn't say that. She's like, he says, "Hi, I'm Spider-Man," and he's like, "Hi, Spider-Man. I'm Captain Marvel."
No. She says Peter Parker.
I know, but in that version
Yes, sure,
of
okay.
that
Yeah.
I
history.
got you. Or they just forget what his name is, and it's
But they know him as a little boy in the Spider-Man suit, but they don't know his name. No, I
Maybe.
think the spell is stronger than that. That they don't remember.
it
his
just
existence.
removes
Yeah.
that person from there.
I wonder if like this is actually just now a universe where this version of Peter Parker exists because he was able to find an apartment and like he can legally rent it. And that he never went to that prestigious prep high school, so now he has to get a GED.
Yeah.
So like there was a pre-existing version of this Peter Parker that he like kind of just jumped into the identity of.
Yeah.
Also, imagine how much that apartment costs. That was a pretty decently sized apartment.
No, it wasn't.
It was a studio. But in New York,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
even
like,
the crummiest studio is still fucking expensive.
that's what I'm saying.
Mm.
But
And
you know,
I've seen the
Pizza
studios they
time.
have in New York, and like there
there
are smaller ones that cost a lot of money. So I was like, I
Yep.
wonder how much that one's costing him.
yeah,
There's
there's this article that I remember reading where a analyst actually went through some of the most popular
Yeah.
like shows and movies, like apartments and stuff, and was like, yeah,
the
this
friend's
is
apartment is fucking expensive.
yeah, this is how much this would run and stuff. The one he particularly focused on is there's a sitcom show called Two Broke Girls.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
Kat Dennings.
they're supposed to live in this like super shitty apartment, and he's like, yeah, even for as shitty as it is, there is no fucking way they would be able to afford this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but I don't know, do you guys have anything else you want to comment on?
Yeah,
I like how James Jameson is the same across the multiverse.
kind of I understand, but kind of like bummed that Tobey Maguire never got to see J.K. Simmons
Yeah.
and be like, wait a minute, huh?
Yeah.
The end credits were pretty cool. Venom somehow
Fucking sucked.
I was so excited.
I was excited that
Yeah.
he was gonna be involved, and he
then-
just fucking vacationed in Cancun for the entire movie, and then teleported back to
He was there for only
But
like
hey,
the
2
bad
days.
Sony universe.
But hey, a piece of the symbiote stayed.
Which made no sense because I was like, the
No, that
whole
makes
thing.
sense.
No, the whole thing should be leaving.
No, I think it makes sense.
no, I think it's
because-
like if someone came from a different universe, took off their shirt, and then teleported back, their shirt would still be on the ground.
But
Is
I
that
feel
the
like
logic?
I feel like their clothes would go back because everything that's
No, no.
theirs goes back. Even
So
like I thought like all the like tools and stuff like the Green Goblin's like
his
thing.
glider.
I think his glider disappeared, didn't it?
I have no idea.
No, okay, here's my reasoning.
Mhm.
In the Venom comics and in the Venom movies, they have shown that droplets from Venom, unless he recovers them, can become their own separate identity and symbiote.
Okay,
that's what happens to
I'll let
Carnage.
that
That's
slide. Yeah.
literally how Carnage comes into being.
Okay, I'll let that slide.
So the argument could be that this little drip came off of them, and because they're now ripped apart by dimensions, this part of the symbiote is going to form its own identity and its own.
Oh no, that poor barman is about to lose his family all over again.
No, I think he's just gonna be just like in the Carnage movie. He's just gonna be a transport vessel as he transports from body to body,
Yeah.
I
finding the
would
real
laugh
that
if-
version of
I
Eddie
would
Brock.
laugh if that guy ended up being like the Venom that he has to fight in the future.
Who?
The Mexican barkeep?
Yeah, the Mexican.
No, no, no,
that'd
you
be
know
so
who it's gonna be?
funny. He's
It's
like,
gonna-
help me get back to my family.
It's going to be that Flash guy that kept saying he was best friends with Spider-Man.
Thompson?
Yeah,
I would laugh if he became Venom.
that would make sense. I
I
would be
think
down
there's
with
no
that.
precedent for it. Like,
No, there's
Yeah,
not.
there's not.
And honestly, it wouldn't make sense narratively, but it would be funny.
It'd be
I
funny.
mean, like, I there's probably an Eddie Brock, in the
Yeah.
MCU.
There
Yeah.
is, but I mean, who
Yeah.
cares?
yeah.
Give me Ned Venom. I want Ned Venom. But
Is there a version of me?
And
Yeah,
then-
I promise there's no version of me that
This-
tries to kill you.
The thing is, I was a little disappointed in the second end one because it was just a trailer for the next one.
I thought
It
that
was-
was super obnoxious of Disney.
it was real. Like I was not. I was like, okay.
Listen,
like,
if
that's
you're gonna
not even
put something,
cool.
put like something you haven't already released on YouTube.
Right.
I don't think it was released on YouTube.
Yes,
yet.
it was. It was released on YouTube like 2 days before I went to see No Way Home.
Yeah, but did you see it on the opening night?
I saw it on
Okay, some of us don't get
Wednesday?
the opportunity to like see it.
no
Yeah,
Thursday.
So the movie was already out.
The movie was already out.
Yeah.
But the thing is
So
that,
no, but the people who saw the movie first got to see the trailer first.
I guess.
But
Yeah,
even
which
then,
I
it's
believe
like,
is the idea.
I don't want to see a trailer. I wanted to see
I wanna
a
see a
snippet or
clip.
something. Yeah,
I
I want
wanna
to see
see-
a clip.
I want to be tantalized. I want the foreplay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so this isn't the first time this has happened, because if you guys remember Avengers 2,
Yes.
we have a trailer for Civil War,
I
which
know.
was a big event, which is so it was like, it kind of makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess the logic here is that to understand where Multiverse of Madness is going, you need to have seen this movie. Therefore, it kind of logically makes sense to put it at the end because you've been through it already.
I'll give you that.
Well, if you're gonna say that and make sense about it,
I just think it's a
I'll
wasted
give you
slot.
that.
Yeah.
It does feel it, but
I would prefer if like they just post the trailer like a week after release or something.
I do like the idea of just a little droplet of Venom, though. That's gonna be fun.
yeah.
Also, that makes me wonder. Then, do the symbiotes exist in this universe at
Yes.
all? Before
Do
Venom?
you think so?
I think they do.
It would make
Mhm.
sense if they do,
Mhm.
but like again, like the current Spider-Man universe is wild, or the Marvel universe is wild with
Yeah.
so many different things going on at once.
Do you think?
It's too much to keep track of.
So this is like a pretty cool concept, and I doubt this will ever be used because the symbiotes share a supremely fast hive mind brain collection. Do you think Venom proper and the Venom droplet can communicate across dimensions?
So
I don't think
I
so.
don't think they can communicate across dimensions, but
And work as like some interdimensional telephone?
there's in the Carnage after credit scene where the like bring in of people from different dimensions happens.
Yeah.
Venom sees the television
Yeah, and then licks the
screens
television screen.
and like recognizes Tom Holland. So here's what I think it is. I think because they came into the same universe, Venom hooked up with the MCU's hive mind and was able to pick up the certain memories. And because he came in and the Tobey Maguire came in, he must have somehow linked between them and was able to get like a picture of what might have happened in these other universes. That's a fan theory,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's something interesting.
I mean,
to
like,
think
there's
about.
there's no symbiote anymore attached to like Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker.
No,
So
not at all.
there would be no reason for him to gather information of the Raimi universe.
I don't know, man. I just work here, but no, I think this was a very good movie. I think it's worth seeing. It has its downsides, but
Good luck to you if you want to try to see it.
Yeah, I mean,
Wait a couple more weeks.
I would say it's not the best thing Marvel has ever put out, but it's very good. It pays good homage to the older Spider-Man movies and sets it up for interesting ways to go in the future.
Yeah, I do like the little quips they have between each other. I think it's always funny. Or like when I don't even know how to separate the Spider-Mans at this point. But anyways,
Andrew, Toby,
Andrew
Tom?
I don't know all their actual actor names.
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire.
No,
Andrew
let's do
Garfield.
it how
Andrew
they're in the movie. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3.
Peter 1, Peter 2, Peter 3.
Yeah, I think that's what they say.
So
1,
Peter 1
is
is
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Peter
Peter 2 is Andrew Garfield.
No,
and then,
Peter 2.
no, they swapped. Remember at the very end, he's like, "You're Peter 2. He's Peter
Okay,
3.
it doesn't matter.
I don't
Anyways,
fucking know.
Just call
anyways.
them by their actors.
Okay, so Tom Holland was talking about how you worked it because they were trying to work together as a team.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Oh, I worked in a team.
Yeah, I worked in a team before, guys. I worked with the Avengers, and they're both like, "Whoa,
What is that? I love that part of like.
What are the Avengers? Some
that
kind
a
of band?
Are you in a band?
like, no, they're the heroes of the universe, or
They're Earth's
the-
mightiest heroes.
yeah, the Earth's mightiest heroes. And I'm like, yo,
That was a good point to make, where it's like,
Tom
yep,
Holland's scale is much bigger than everyone else's because
Yeah.
they're limited to just New York. I
Yeah.
mean, at least Peter went to vacation in Italy, but
yeah.
No, that was kind of.
but yeah, no, he
fun.
went to space.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then like that was the whole thing I was trying to make, is like, then I liked how Tobey Maguire was like, I'm still on the point where you fought an alien in space.
In space, yeah.
Because they all fought like a different version of like Venom technically, or they all fought a different type of alien, I should say. And then except for Andrew Garfield did not fight one.
Yep,
He's
never
all like
fought it.
confused, like, you guys fought aliens?
Yeah. Andrew's like, you guys fought aliens?
Yeah.
Toby's like, you fought an alien in space?
Yeah.
And then Tom was like, you fought a lizard?
Good
Yeah.
times.
Tom's Peter Parker is unfortunately much more has much more burdens than the others.
Yeah.
Although they all have their own personal burdens that they
Yeah.
all got through with the help of each other,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of a moral in itself, that sometimes the best person to talk you out of like your problems, to get you through everything, is yourself.
So look in that mirror.
Then look in that mirror, say,
And don't become
am,
the Green Goblin.
I am beautiful, no
I am
matter what
amazing.
they say.
Do the American Psycho thing where you're just staring at yourself.
Oh, you know what?
flexing
There
in
was
the mirror.
one more thing when
Words
Ned,
can't-
right, the best friend character,
Mhm.
is
You're doing a good
asking
job.
the
Do you
uh,
have a best friend?
Yeah.
He tried to kill me.
me.
Yeah.
I held him as he died in my arms. And I'm like, yo,
Jesus Christ.
You think there are other universes, Neds?
Yeah.
And then, like, yes.
Yeah, but Mike, recommendation.
You know what? Actually,
absolutely. If I say you get the most out of this movie by seeing all the Spider-Mans, I would say. Only for the member berries.
That's something I forgot to say. Okay,
Like,
even if you don't see any of the other Spider-Mans,
yeah.
I think you'll enjoy
Yeah,
this
you'll
movie.
still enjoy it. But like I said, like, I know a part of it's definitely those member berries, but like, I liked all the subtle little quips from each of the movies. That's why I
Yeah.
said it needs a bingo card, because there's a lot of little things.
Memes
like,
were a mistake.
yeah.
You will enjoy it, but you'll get the maximum enjoyment if you've seen the other Spider-Man
Well said,
movies.
exactly.
If you're under 30, yes.
Hey, over 30 people could have seen all of them.
No, I mean the memes.
Oh,
Yeah.
The memes, Jack.
What about you, Kevin? What's your final thoughts?
I mean, like I said it after the non-spoiler review, that yeah, it's a good movie. I was gonna say that, like, where was the sneak peek for Into the Spider-Verse snuck into? I think it was at Venom.
Yeah,
Was it the
Venom.
Yeah.
the ending of Venom that the sneak peek of Spider-Verse was? They could have done a Across the Spider-Verse clip at the end of this one. I would have been fine.
No,
rather
that's
than,
too easy.
No, fuck the Multiverse of Madness. Even though I probably enjoy it, but
I'm very excited for the Multiverse of Madness.
yeah.
But
First horror Marvel movie.
but yeah, thanks for joining us on Cinema Buns.
Hey, what's your opinion on this movie?
Yeah.
Your final
Garbage.
thoughts.
Garbage.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
It should have paid the rent.
You know, there's a fan missed opportunity that fans were saying that, like, it should have been the guy who's the landlord of Tom Holland's
Yes,
apartment
yes,
should have been the landlord
Yeah.
from Tobey
Okay,
Maguire's.
I thought
Or
I
at
was,
least said like something about the door, or just
Yeah.
made reference
Yeah.
to it. But whatever.
yeah. Instead, he just said like,
Missed opportunities.
rent is due on the 1st, and don't forget. And I was like, oh, there could have been something there.
You could get this run first the damn door.
Because I was like thinking like, oh, it's gonna be like the apartment that he had in like the original. Because that'd be so cool, but it wasn't. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
But
missed
you know,
opportunity. But whatever.
thanks for joining us. Again, you can find us on Twitter, on Patreon at patreon.com/cinemabuns. As you're listening to us, you can also recommend us to friends, as we're on every major podcasting platform.
Woo!
And back to Patreon, if you become a backer, you have access to our Discord, which is pretty rad. So join us. Anyways, with that, I'm Ritter.
I'm Mike.
Here's an interesting
I'm
for
Kevin.
movie podcast.
Bye.
Some are pretty good, but we'll just suck